Brambro back with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, our Italy campaign that we started in 1910, and we finally got through a year. It is January 1911. Had a few battles in the last episode or two that were in December 1910. And we got a couple here in January where we got a lot of destroyers in action for this month. And I had not quite registered it, but the new class of destroyer that I had designed in the first episode, they've actually completed, and they are all in action. Built 8 of them, and 4 of them are in this battle, and 4 are in the other. So we'll see just how badly I gooned up that design here in just a few moments. However, a couple episodes ago, I was talking about power projection and blockade and how that worked, and the desirability of designing some ships that are very cheap and not terribly combat effective in tactical battles, but provide a cost-effective way to increase tonnage and range for power projection, and thereby either impose blockade on weaker powers or try to help avoid being blockaded by a larger one. And I built a couple of kind of cheapo battleships, designed and built a couple of cheapo battleships for that purpose. And one commenter pointed out, hey, you know, the most kind of efficient cost per ton class is heavy cruisers. And my immediate reaction upon reading that was, duh, I knew that. I just had forgotten it. And yeah, now maybe later on in the 30s and 40s that gets a little fuzzier, but definitely in this era, the CA tends to be a little bit cheaper than the other ship types. So that got me thinking, well, you know, out of the ships that I have, what is the cheapest per ton? And went through all the ships that I had so far, and, you know, I'm not going to do all the math on the screen here, but it turns out that our starting battleship, the San Giuseppe, is actually the cheapest per ton ship we had out of those starting, you know, auto design ships that we started the campaign with. And in fact, this blockade optimized battleship, the Blocco Uno class, is about the same price per ton as the San Giuseppes. So I didn't really save any money there. I could have just kept building the old one, and it would have achieved the same effect. I'm not going to stop building the 2 that I started, but those are about $920 per ton, and everything else we have is more expensive than that. Our starting heavy cruiser is surprisingly expensive at about $1,500 per ton. Yeah, $1,400 and change. They're about 15 million a piece, and they're only a little bit over 10,000 tons. So I figured, okay, can we design a max tonnage heavy cruiser that comes in at about 800 per ton? And the answer was yes. So I've got a new design here, the Ferdinando 2, which cost about 10.8 million for a 13,500 ton ship. And that works out to just round numbers, right around $800 a ton, which was my target. I was trying to get to 10.8 for a 13.5, and actually came in a little under that. Now, it's not a great design. it's the same concept as what I talked about before with this blockade ship, where we're not spending a lot of money on things like citadels and fuel, and it's just tonnage and range. So that's what she's got. This is the biggest possible heavy cruiser I can build with my available hulls and shipyard capacity. 13.5. She's not very fast. She's 24 knots. But she's got max range. That's important for power projection. And I just kind of went in the middle with standard crew. Coal-fired. Did give her a little bit of boiler. The cheapest possible engine. Cheapest possible armor type. She is well armored. She's just armed with heavy, lower quality armor. Harvey's the lowest I got, but it's still a plus 50%. And I've got a 9.3 inch main belt on her, which translates to almost a 14 inch effective armor main belt. That's where you get that cheap weight to get to your tonnage without spending a lot of money for this type of ship. She is not heavily armed in terms of caliber for a heavy cruiser by any stretch. It went with a main armament of 6.5 inch guns, but I did lengthen them in order to give her a little bit more range and penetration. And so I think she'll do okay against the Austrian heavy cruisers, and I gave her a whole bunch of 4-inch guns. So this ship will do, I think, will do okay against light cruisers, destroyers, and certainly, like any warship, we'll be able to tear up transports and convoy battles just fine. And we'll see how eventually, I'm sure we'll see how she may or may not do against the Austrian heavy cruisers. Now, she's not very fast, so if she runs into battle cruisers and battleships, she's not going to be able to get away very easily, and she'll get sunk. That's about the long and short of it. But that's okay. This is, on a per ton basis, the cheapest ship in our Navy now. And so if we lose a few, that's fine. We'll just build some more. Okay, so I did that. Oh, and I ordered 8. I got 8 of these coming. I know some of them are suspended, that whole staggered entry into the fleet thing. We could afford to build all 8 at the same time. But it's also just a matter of, the crew pool increases at a certain rate. You could complete them all at the same time, and your newest ships just immediately go into mothballs because there's no crew for them. So they're coming in on the same kind of staggered schedule that we've talked about before. Okay, so to the business at hand. Let's got an ambush battle just right up here at the north tip of the Adriatic, near Trieste. Not shown on the map, but the port of Trieste would be right up in here. Kind of surprised Trieste isn't one of the Austro-Hungarian ports. Maybe it's a commercial port and it wasn't used by Austria-Hungary as a naval base. I guess. I don't know. So we have 4 destroyers, 4 of our new destroyers, and because they're brand new, they've got green and cadet crews. Doesn't look like the Austrians are too much better trained. Well, this will go pretty fast, I think, because we're just going to zip in with these four and see if we can torpedo St. George, and then we're just going to bug out. And so there, you know, if we miss with all the torps, then this may be a relatively light damage battle. Of course, we're going to, you know, we're probably going to take some damage with these. It's just kind of the way it goes. Man, let's get in and see what happens. I think this is going to be the first time we see the Austrian light cruiser. I think we fought that guy before. Okay, we've got, well, for some reason it went and put the fourth destroyer in its own. I don't want that. Just put everybody in the same division. I wish you could just do all the ships at once here. Just there we go. Dardo will get over here eventually. And let's turn all the torps off for now. So our speed 34. And smoke to the south. Looks like we're headed right at them. Okay. Okay, which one of these is the heavier one? Okay, I think that's the light cruiser. So this is the one we want to go smack. And shooting at that one's fine. Got a whole bunch of 4-inch guns here on these destroyers. Actually, this geometry is shaping up pretty well. It wouldn't suck to kill a light cruiser. Let's go on in on this guy. Okay, this ship only. There we go. I think we're going to get a bunch of hits. Boom. Good smack. Okay, Francisco, since you've I don't understand how it got another torpedo. Unless that was its own torpedo cooking off, I guess. Okay, Francesco, go ahead and detach. If you can. Retreat if you can. She may sink. Everyone else is just kind of having to get around this sinking like cruiser. Got some fires going on the St. George. Looks like. Okay, we're not going to be able to get. We're not going to be able to go in under smoke cover. Well, we've lost the flagship. Here. Okay, Carlo Mirabello. It's one torpedo hit. Some more torpedoes coming. Okay. Dardo. Detach. Come in for your torpedo run. Retreat if you can. Smoke up. No, I shouldn't have done that. Just go steady. Smoke up. Man, that's got to do it, right? I don't know. There we go. Okay. Nice job with the destroyers. Sink a heavy and a light cruiser. We took some damage there, but they're destroyers. It's going to happen. None of them sank, and looks like we're going to come out with light damage on 3 of them, and just some medium damage on 1. 7,500 victory points. Yeah. That's a fine combat debut for that class. Interesting. Austro-Hungarian Empire desperately asks us to sign a peace treaty. Should we accept? To be honest, I'm not sure what the right answer is, because now, I mean, in my experience, I just, I only know the original campaign that was just one war, and then when peace came, they just ended the campaign. Now, in this situation, I'm not sure. I'm going to guess that the more lopsided the VP, the more gains you get at the peace. We're not in any serious trouble as far as budget goes. So, we're not blockaded. We've got plenty of money to be building our ships. We're able to maintain our tech progress, our research budget. I think we'll get more at the peace if we continue the war. So I'm going to choose to continue the fight. And it's important to note, we don't run Italy. We run the Italian Navy. This question is not coming directly to us as the Navy Minister. This is the Prime Minister or the President or whatever the Italian government is. The King. I think Italy still has a king at this point. They're asking our opinion. The politicians might make peace anyway, even if we recommend continuing the war. Usually not, but sometimes that happens. So just because I'm choosing fight to the end doesn't mean that our government will actually continue the war. But we're going to choose fight to the end and see what happens in February 1911. Well, it turned out to be heavy damage to Vincenzo Giordano Orsini. Some of these Italian ship names are a mouthful. In the meantime, just in case the PM does make peace, I guess we better get in there and try to get some more VP. Which means let's hit this So we're attacking a convoy of 7 transports, but they're protected by a battleship and a heavy cruiser. So I think the smarter play is just get in there, try to sink all these transports, and then beat feet. But we'll see how it turns out. I did build this class of destroyer kind of gunnery heavy. They do have a nice torpedo, as we just saw. They've got the triple torpedo, the triple launcher, deck launcher, and fast torpedoes, which at the moment here in 1911 is kind of cutting edge torpedo technology. So they've got that, but I did load them up with 4-inch guns, and well, I think they're a little bigger than that, 4.5-inch guns, with the idea of also optimizing them to shoot up transports. So I'm kind of interested to kind of see how they do at that, if I got that about right. Now, anybody can, any class, any design can shoot up transports. They'll do it. It's just how quick do they do it? And how well do they stand up to the transport's return fire? They're usually armed. They usually have like a 4-inch gun on them. So they do shoot back. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then, of course, our battle cruiser and light cruiser will join in as well. Let's wreck all these transports and get out. Especially since I say we, everybody else probably knew already, especially since now I know that transports actually provide pretty good VP. Okay, what do we got here? Let me just pause for a second. First things first, turn all the torpedoes off. I definitely don't want to be burning torpedoes on transports. Okay, so there's Doria. I'm going to put a cut in for just a moment. Okay. So we had the destroyers split 2 on each side. If I had just kept them in one formation, they would have been crossing and getting on the battle cruiser's way. And so I just made 2 divisions. These 2 are division, these 2 are division. Hopefully, I think that probably work out a little bit better. All right, well, smoke is somewhere to the northeast, so it's kind of off in this direction. Hopefully we run into the transports first. Well, the light cruiser is supposed to be following the battle cruiser. It's doing a little bit of a swervy job of it. Okay, let's slow that down and see what we sighted first. And it's the battleship. Well, you know what? I think our destroyers are going to do a port and starboard attack on it. I mean, it's out in front. What am I going to do? All right. It's probably the cruiser. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think so. Putting a quick cut in here. Okay, back. You know, I like how the geometry is shaping up on this heavy cruiser instead. I'm just gonna take the shots on this thing before Carlo Montanari gets wrecked. So let's just come on in on this guy. Let's put... I'm on the wrong ship. There we go. Let's put his torpedoes on save. Come on, Carlo. That geometry's looking pretty good. Shoot. There they go. Okay. This ship. Boom. Uh-oh. I think we're about to get T-boned. Oh, flash fire. Okay, Carlo Montanari. Another flash fire. That's looking a little spectacular there. Okay, Carlo Montanari detach and retreat. Maybe head on in. Chase the battleship. Where's our other division? A little bit of fireworks there. Now let's just come in right on her stern, try to limit the amount of secondary fire that Nibio takes. Where's the battlecruiser? Okay, that's all fine. Okay. Carl is shooting mains at the battlecruiser and secondaries at destroyers. That makes perfect sense. Our destroyers are in a little bit of a tail chase here. So I'm just gonna have Nibio just make slight course changes, not enough to, hopefully not enough to really slow down her approach, although it will a little bit, but just slight ones so that she's always in a little bit of a maneuver, and that should limit the amount, that should degrade accuracy of Carl's fire a little bit. Ouch. Antonio Chinotto is coming in and not taking fire. Carl is mainly focused on Nibio. Nibio? Okay, we're going to have Nibio shoot normal, and the intent isn't really to hit, but to make Carl turn to port, which will give these other two destroyers a nice geometry. Matter of fact, we'll even go as far as aggressive on Nibio. Well, may not have to do that. On Antonio. Torpedoes in the water. Okay, that's good. There's another torpedo hit from Nibio. Ippolito's turn. Ammo debt. Let's make sure Antonio doesn't blunder into Italian torpedoes there. Okay, let's go ahead and smoke those two destroyers. Where's Nivio? Let's turn that back off. Do have reloads. Okay. Alright, so let's have this division just kind of disengage here while they reload torpedoes, and then they can run back in. I don't think Doria needs to come in any closer than that. Actually, let's just these guys come back this way. Not sure exactly how many torpedoes Carl took, but it was multiple, and still hasn't gone below 50% structure. Is slowed to 3 knot. No, that's distance. No, yeah. Speed 3.2 knots. Which means if you get a decent solution, Doria, save. Go ahead and fire. Same for a Gordot. So basically you get save, normal, and aggressive. And that's basically that translates to, this is a save ammunition setting, which means the ship will fire if it has a really good solution. And then normal is normal. Aggressive is just throw torps in the water, even if it's a low percentage to hit. So I like using the save. If I'm going to burn torpedoes, then let's get a good firing solution. And with Carl going so slow, I think we'll get one. Okay, how are these guys up here doing on their torpedoes? Still not half way to reload. Oh. Okay. Nibio, go ahead and well, just keep going the way you're going as fast as you can. Here, head that way. Gordot has put torps in the water from his terrible angle. I don't even know where her torpedoes are. Oh, there it is. Right there. I think. There's another torpedo hit. Doria has fired some torpedoes. Don't quite know where they are. Well, there's a torpedo there going nowhere. And there's a torpedo there that's obviously not going to hit. Let's smoke up there. About halfway through reloading for these two destroyers. Let's just turn it back this way. And just kind of go back and forth up here while they reload, and then they can come back in for the coup de grace. Carl isn't done yet. And she could get propulsion back. It depends on if those central compartments they're flooded right now, but they may not be completely destroyed. If they are, then that flooding is permanent. But if they're not, they could get repaired and dewater that space. And let's not run into our own destroyer here. Okay, that's not going to work. We're getting hits, but the damage is so light against the armor of the battleship. Gunfire is hardly hurting it at all. Which is to be expected. I mean, our heaviest caliber is 10.5-inch guns. I'm sure Carl's armor is way more than sufficient to deal with that. Yeah, 0.156% on a partial pin. Yeah, her flotation's back up to 43%. She's dewatered her aft sections, but uh, those engineering spaces are remain pressed up. I don't think that's getting dewatered. Which means she's going to stay almost dead in the water. What is she down to? Still 3.2 knots. Okay, how's our destroyers doing on their reload? Almost there. Where are they? I think by the time that Antonio and Ippolito get back over here, I think they'll be reloaded by then. Let's go ahead and turn in for their second run. We'll hold smoke until actually start taking fire. Like that. Okay, smoke. Ouch. Oh, goodness. Let's... Torpedo hit. Ammo debt. Okay, let's hold Ippolito's... Alright, save. Torpedoes away. Oh, got a dud. Got another ammo debt, though. That's gotta be okay. That's gotta be it. Yeah, there we go. Carl, sunk. I guess we don't get the chance to go sink the transports. I guess once you sink the... yeah, I remember that now. Once you sink all the warship escorts, that's it. So the transports got away, but their battleship did not. 10,000 victory points. And one destroyer with at least medium damage. But that's a pretty small price to pay. Torpedo accuracy 400. How can you get 400%? That doesn't seem right. I don't quite understand that number. 12 hits out of 3 shots? Huh. 1 out of 3 hits, 1 out of 2 hits. Yeah. So Doria didn't hit. The cruiser got a hit. Antonio Chinotto fired 6 torpedoes and got 6 hits. So did Ippolito Nievo. Don't understand how Carlo Montanari got 12 hits out of 3 shots. But I'm glad she did. Damage dealt 13,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. Doria delivered 1.2, so 1,200 damage done with her guns, because she didn't hit with the torpedo. 13%, which is very, very similar to the gun accuracy that we got out of Monarca in the battle last episode. Gordot's the light cruiser's gunnery accuracy was terrible. And actually the destroyers did pretty good, those little guns. 15 and 16%. With those 4.5-inch guns. Nibio, 8.5%. So I'm pretty happy with the gunfire performance. Of course, they're firing at big targets too, and of course they got very close to deliver their torpedoes. Alright, well that went very, very well. And we finally found something that we could do against those Austrian battleships that I've been hand-wringing about. Okay. And medium damage to Carlo Montanari. Now most of our destroyers have taken damage now. All 8 of our new destroyers have been engaged in these battles, so they're probably all out of the fight for the moment, and who knows where the game sent them to repair. See what that does to power projection status. Yeah, losing that battleship, well, and they've lost some cruisers too this month. They've now dropped to below ours in the East Med. And it looks like they have no ships except for 5 battleships. That's it. No cruisers, no destroyers. Currently operational. I'm sure they've got some under repair, maybe. Or maybe not. Okay, where did all those destroyers go to for repairs? It went to... yeah, it just scattered them all over Kingdom Come. Ancona, Palermo, Livorno, Bari. Pretty short repair times, 1 month or 2 months. Okay, Carlo Mirabello is our only operational destroyer. Well, that's not true. We have all the older destroyers here and there as well. Okay, that's all fine. We're spending $13 million a month this month for ship repairs, $15 million on ship construction. Okay. Let's advance one turn just to see if the government actually continues the war. They may not. War continues. Okay. Okay, we got a new tech, anti-flooding 3, which, you know, is pretty effective at ship repairs and pumping out water. This tends to be a pretty expensive, and not just in dollars, but in weight. That tends to add a lot of weight too, though. But that's a good thing to have available. Okay, Germany loses 5 transports up in the North Sea. That's nothing new. Britain continues to lose transport ships in the East Med. And we've got 3 convoy battles. How's our power projection? 9,000 to 8,200. They've gotten some tonnage back. Something's been repaired. What do they have now? Okay, so they've got 2 heavy cruisers and 1 light cruiser back in commission in this sea region, the same 5 battleships. And let's just take a look at these convoy battles. Okay, we've got a battle cruiser and a heavy cruiser. So in this one, yeah, our hope is to get past the warships, and we'll just have we'll try to sink as many of these transports as we can. Not this episode. Okay, this one, that's the same one. Well, one battle cruiser and 2, and the other one is similar. This one's just 3 transports. And this one, well, they got their battleships out protecting their transports because it's all they got, really. Our battleship, which we know is not very good, against 2 of theirs with a battlecruiser alongside. Not really liking that too much. Well, those will have to wait for the next episode, as the war against Austria-Hungary continues in February 1911. If you like what we're doing with the channel, you like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. But at any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.